Oh, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Folk and Myth. We are here tonight playing some Daggerheart, episode 2 of our Souls of Wrath trilogy. These lovely individuals here in front of me are graciously giving me their time in this rather interesting little story arc that we're going through, which we will definitely be getting into a great deal more in just a few moments. Do have a couple of quick things to get through before we get started. First of all, I must, as always, shout out to Tabletop Audio. Tabletopaudio.com is who we use for most. I use pretty much exclusively, but we use Tabletop Audio for a lot of our background music and ambiance and musical tracks. You should please check out their stuff. They have a lot of cool things. Tim over there produces some amazing work, and you don't have to pay for it. It is totally free. If you do want to pay for it, they do have a Patreon where you can get access to all kinds of other alternate tracks and various things. They have if you do the Patreon route, they have over 2,000 audio tracks for your use, and it's amazing. Whether you're doing offline, online, in-person, virtual, whatever, check out Tim over Tabletop Audio. Does some awesome things. Shepeku, I'm sure most everyone is familiar with Shepeku. They graciously have allowed me to use the scene art for the backdrop on this that you've probably seen during the bumper. Pretty awesome stuff. You should check out their work for scenes and maps. One of the premier map makers on the internet these days. Awesome stuff. We do have an amazing pair of mods here at Folk and Myth as well. Unfortunately, I think I'm rocking it solo tonight. Just busy. We'll see where and when they arrive, if they do arrive, but that's okay. We still love Raven and Vale BGM. They are amazing people. Please give them all your love if they show up in chat tonight or whenever you see them. Please give them all of your love. We are playing Daggerheart tonight. If you have lived under a rock for the past 6 months, you may not have heard of Daggerheart, but Daggerheart is a new TTRPG from the fine folks at Darrington Press of Critical Role fame. Daggerheart is an amazing storytelling system. Matt Stormcrow, however, Matt, get out of here with that. I've seen how much love Bleak gives you. It should be banned most of the time. You can just... Yeah. Daggerheart's awesome storytelling system. Storytelling first, as I like to say, mechanics second. They've got some pretty awesome mechanics too, for all that crunch and fluff. Kitty cat, what are you doing back there? I have a cat going absolutely nuts behind me. Anyway, check out Daggerheart. We are playing a custom campaign frame that I created called The Withering. It's a unique campaign frame, at least I like to think so, and yeah, we'll definitely be exploring a bit about what that means tonight. And if you are interested in joining into tonight's game a little bit, you can donate bits. Bits will you can donate bits to provide these lovely individuals motes, dream motes, that will allow them to empower some of their roles, either canceling out disadvantages or gaining hope to be able to use the various cool things that their characters can do. And yeah, speaking of these players, I think we should give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. And thank you, Archaic Prospect, for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. You are joining just as we are getting started tonight. I'm gonna pass this over to Zach to kick things off. Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and who you are playing tonight, and then popcorn to whoever you like.
Absolutely. Hi everybody, my name is Zachary Vaudo. You can find me all over the internet at Sneakernet or Sneakernet Music. I don't have the amount of music out there that Tabletop Audio does, but I have dozens of songs at your disposal. Tonight, I am playing your Slyborn Emberkin Syndicate rogue, Yuri Lightburn, who has a very important contact for us to meet in a very, very on-the-level location. I'm sure it will go wonderfully. Tot, I'm kicking it over to you now.
Yeah, all right. Hello, I am Tot, or Tatiana. You can find me on Blue Sky at Tot Coco. And tonight I am playing Malia of the Hollowed Crag, a Wanderborn Qatari warlock under the Pact of the Wrathful. She is here, truly so excited to meet this contact. I'm passing it off to Danny.
Got to follow up that joyous introduction. Hey there, everybody. I am Danny. I go by CGDannyB online. You can find me Blue Sky, Twitter, YouTube, whole 9 yards. Not Twitter. No one likes that one anymore. I am playing Ropo, the fungal wildborn juggernaut brawler. We're hoping to break some kneecaps this time, and not my own. Last time we got a little scared. Our corruption's not looking so hot. So we're gonna see how Ropo does today. So that'll be great.
Do Funkos have kneecaps?
Probably not. I don't know. My little doodle we stole to build an image. He's like a little guy with a big old cape. So he might not.
He has multiple. He took him from the last guys.
Oh, the idea that he just like marches like total straight leg the whole time is kind of cute. So we'll take either. But yeah, that is me. So Aya, if you would.
Hello everyone. I'm Aya. I will be playing the Warborn Infernus Warrior, Call of the Brave, and this loser is called Antar. I hope he survives.
We shall see. And loser's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I think we did get the killing blow last time we played on...
That's true.
Yeah, on the Wrath Witch. So, I mean, loser seems like a stretch, but...
I loosened it.
That did not sound right at all.
I think you all loosened it.
So, let us catch up, shall we? In our last session, we introduced these fine folk and their current state, living in this rather difficult place of Morvain Kroll, these spires built on top of the lava flows and volcanic mountain terrain in this realm of wrath, under the dominance of the Scourge Tyrant. These four have lived their entire lives not knowing something within them. Eventually, through interesting circumstances, they became awakened to that something. They became awakened to memories of a time from before Morvain Kroll existed, from a time before even the Scourge Tyrant and the other Sin Lords that ruled the realm existed. These memories from centuries ago? Maybe. We don't know exactly how long it has been. The people that created those memories originally have long since perished under difficult circumstances. But now, they live again. Or do they? Sort of, perhaps. Their memories seemingly locked away inside the minds of Antar, Ropo, Malia, Yuri. What does it mean for these individuals? What does it mean to not only feel yourself and be yourself, but also feel this other presence? These are some of the things that we're going to be touching on tonight. Last time that we played, however, this group of awakened souls that seemingly know each other both from their mundane lives as well as their awakened lives, they had a difficult contest in front of them. They were faced with a Wrath Witch, a being fully given over to the will of the Scourge Tyrant, a being seemingly reshaped with metal infused in their flesh, a being capable of pure wrath and pain. They were successful in defeating the Wrath Witch, but it certainly came at a bit of cost. They retreated away from the joyous occasion of contests in the arena where they had felled the witch. They retreated because the pain of that experience weighed heavily upon them in ways that it never had before their awakening, in ways that no one else within all of Morvain Kroll could understand. They rested, and they ventured out from their tiny sanctuary that they had carved out for themselves in search of someone that might be able to give them a path out, a path away from all of this now horrifically difficult and painful life. Contact of Yuri's. Before they could get there, however, as they ventured through the Crucible Warrens in search of that individual, they met someone else, or rather, were stopped by seeing someone else. A tall figure, easily standing 10 to 12 feet in height, with arms almost as long as they are tall. This dark figure, cloaked in shadow, wearing heavy, heavy black, and so cloaked that you could not see their face, staring at the lot of you. You can see quite clearly, as they have locked you within their gaze, or the gaze hidden beneath the cowl of their cloak. They have said nothing. They have done nothing. And yet, you see them and cannot look away. It is worth noting, no one else seems to be aware of their presence. All of the other denizens of the Crucible Warrens are going about their daily lives. You can still hear the machines, the forges, the suffering of this realm around you. And yet, as you all stare and look upon this entity, this figure, you cannot help but be transfixed. And perhaps some part of you wonders why no one else is. I pass the spotlight to you, my friends. What do you do in response to this?
I think since Yuri's sort of leading the charge to find the contact, we come upon this person. Yuri doesn't know what to make of this, but the one thing that they do know is that this sort of quiet aggression is not uncommon. It's, as far as Yuri seems to be concerned, it's more posturing. If there's more to be discovered, it will be discovered, but I think as we say this, Yuri just says, all right, well, the usual, just don't look away first, all the alpha bullshit, and we'll keep on our way, I suppose, unless any of you happen to know this individual.
Most definitively, none of you have ever seen anything like this before. It is also worth mentioning that as we begin tonight's game, I am starting with 4 fear. As an amount of fear goes, that's relatively low. You can actually use that as a decent barometer of how much fear you might be feeling in this moment. There's always the underlying tension of living in this place, of course, but you can use that to color your role-playing if you wish.
Yeah, to that point, it's less fear and more just a caution that you're born with in this place. Malia is looking at this thing and looking at how no one else is looking at it. No one else is acknowledging it. And it's yet another thing that she has to pretend doesn't exist for the sake of all of their survival. This little band of awakened that she's found herself with. So I think there's just a encouragement to move forward. Probably like a dull kick at the back of one of Yuri's shoes. Like, just keep moving.
Right on. I will continue to walk. Given the transfixed statement, I'm not breaking my gaze off of them, but Yuri's leaning into the notion of posturing. If we're having a staring contest, then we're having a staring contest, and I'm continuing to go on my way unless you decide you want to do something about it. That's sort of how things tend to go here nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's when Yuri made the comment about not breaking eye contact, I think Ropo's initial response is, so whose eyes are the most important? Should we all just keep staring? Can I break, as he's kind of trying to get Yuri's attention, knowing he won't look away, but just needs some confirmation that it's slightly okay to not stare at this guy, or if he needs to keep looking.
I think Antar is kind of like weirdly not paying attention to the figure and kind of waves them off almost like perhaps it's a fun, we did win.
I don't know, there's a lot of fans around here. I think and now we're a bigger target. But yeah. Maybe a fan. Maybe wants an autograph. That'll be great.
Yeah, you can sign your hat.
Nope, don't do that. Don't touch it. He just kind of hunkers down, touching the newly glowing purple scar that's on top of his mushroom cap. Like, yeah, don't sign that, please.
Keep it together.
As you all start to move past, the figure turns, keeping you in front of them as you continue to move past. Malia, I need for you to please roll a presence reaction roll.
Yeah, all right. Do I get any more context, GM, or is that that all? Just trying to see if I can gain an experience here or not.
What are your experiences?
Frontliner, eyes like daggers, quick hands, and quicker wit.
No.
Okay. All right. I tried, guys. Okay, that's not too bad. That is a 15 with fear.
Okay. It's a reaction roll, so I don't get any fear. I will tell you, though, that in this moment, you feel heat building up on the back of your neck. You feel your pulse starting to quicken. You feel the wrath starting to rise up within you. You feel the same way that you feel whenever the corruption starts to rise. And then, just as quickly as you feel that corruption starting to rise within you, you hear a voice in your head. And at first, you swear it is the voice of the Scourge Tyrant. It is a voice that you have heard so many times before in your devotion to the tyrant themselves. But then after a couple of words, it changes. It softens. It doesn't become friendly by any stretch of the imagination, but it changes away from that embodiment of wrath to one of simplicity. You hear in your mind, "The world burns because it must." And then, as it softens, "There was a song once. You knew the words before they burned. And in that moment, you are thrust out of this place. Morvain Kroll no longer exists for you. You look around, and you see your companions. You see the aftermath of battle. You see trees around you burned to a crisp. You see a battlefield that is wrought with agony and pain and suffering, and the fires and smoldering still present, but diminishing. You were successful. Or are you?
Yes. I think success is in the mind of the beholder, but to me, I think we have succeeded. We came here to stop something, and we did. The minutia of how the stopping happened isn't as important. If you get too caught up in the minutia, then you're just not going to do anything ever. Sometimes prices need to be paid. It'll be better in the long run. Always is.
Aya, what is the song that Antar begins to play in the aftermath of all of this?
Antar plays kind of a weirdly upbeat tune. It almost hums it and like nods his head to the rhythm of the song, and he can't help himself. And it's just like a constant hum and of like this rhythm that doesn't come. Just he has to follow the flow of the song.
As that flow is proceeding, and the people around you, the handful of survivors, yourselves there as well, as you all start feeling this music and you start understanding that this is not over. It cannot be over. It could not have been that simple. These things that have invaded the realm could not be defeated so easily. But they, as that thought starts to creep up, Antar, what is the instrument that being played?
Instrument is a
You're breaking up a bit. I think you need to speak up.
Sorry. The instrument is probably a lute of some kind, or probably like a oud.
As you are playing it, one of the strings snaps underneath of your fingertips, whipping around violently, catching a bit of your hand, a bit of your blood flies away from you, some of it landing upon the instrument itself, and it sears off, sizzling and bubbling and boiling from the contact, and where it sears, smoke starts to rise, and all of a sudden it is entirely engulfed in flame. I need for you to make an agility reaction roll, please.
Okay. $16 with hope.
Okay. You throw the instrument away from you, and as it flings away from you, your voice falters and is replaced with an omnipresent laughing. This maniacal... as you see the entirety of your instrument turn to ash in the air in front of you. Leah, you now know that it wasn't defeat of that entity. And in fact, some part of you understands now that this is what it wanted. You look around and you see the pain and the aftermath of the hundreds of individuals that perished on this battlefield. And you know that was the true purpose. You do.
It's difficult to be torn in two in so many different ways. This entity that did this is also the one that gives her power. She tithes to it. She worships it in her way. Not like a cleric might, but she draws her power from it nonetheless. So part of her is bound to be grateful for that magic and for that power, but there's this other part that wonders what would have happened if their predecessors hadn't failed, if they'd been better. What is the point of them? They failed the first time. Was the point of them interfering with my life, our lives? They don't even know how to succeed.
As this realization comes to you, scope of the field does not change. You are still standing in that battlefield. But as you look around, your friends, Uriel, Vaughn, Scylla, they now start to take on a little bit more of Antar, Ropo, Yuri. And you realize yourself you are not Aelin, you are Malia. You are both. And you believe that you are somewhere in a memory. You're not experiencing this. And yet you have some control over it, almost perhaps more like a dream than a memory.
Dreams are fickle things, but I think I start to move through this space, sort of approaching my different companions and stopping at this mixture of Antar and Scylla. And I squint my eyes and I try to make out which one of them is more, which one is the stronger half, because maybe that'll tell me which part of me is stronger.
Yeah. That question is for you. Who do you think is stronger within Antar and Scylla?
I think in this very instance, it's probably Antar who's the strongest. There's like very faint hints of Asila in there. There's like small bits of jewelry and colors that aren't really Antar's, but the figure is a bit more like Antar.
That's comforting in its own way, but also terrifying that new part of her that's just awoken, inhabited the body of someone else. To have that kind of hold, you don't want to be lost or forgotten. Being part of these new people, they can ensure that they are not left behind. For Malia, seeing Antar, seeing them is comforting to know that she's still herself. She's still in control of her decisions. She still can make her own decisions. But there's a yearning to know them both, to know them better. And she isn't sure if that yearning is her own or if the yearning is from this other person who happened to be in love with someone once. What can I do with that?
As you ask that question, you hear that voice in your mind again. It is not the voice of... Now, definitively, you know that it is not the voice of the Scourge Tyrant. And yet you feel that same strength of connection that you have always had with the Scourge Tyrant. The voice simply says, "You remember the fire, but not the light."
What is light? What is fire without light? This doesn't show me anything I don't understand.
You say that. You're pulled back to the present, so to speak. The rest of you were walking further ahead as Leah had suggested. I think, Yuri, you will notice it before the others, that she stopped and was staring at this individual, this being, for several moments, but she stopped, utterly transfixed.
I think that without causing a scene, Yuri pivoted to watch and slow down, and very slowly, reaching into his coat, wrap his fingers around the returning ring blade, and starting to draw it about the time that this solo scene ends.
Well, for what was very long for Malia was only a few seconds for you.
It doesn't take a whole lot to prompt Yuri to start to draw a blade. As
Yuri starts to draw that blade, he hears a voice, powerful, forceful. "Mercy breeds weakness. Weakness breeds death." I need for you to please make a presence reaction roll.
"16 with hope."
You are barely able to contain a buildup of wrath within you, a pain that rises up through your spine and into your mind. You feel for a moment as though you must kill Malia. And you grit your teeth through it and fight that urge back.
Now who's weak? Let's go, Malia.
Malia, you do not hear that voice. You can only see at this point your focus entirely driven towards this hooded figure. Their arm slowly rises. The elongated fingers of their hand, easily 12 inches each, rise up towards you. The 8+ feet length of their arm is almost half the distance between you and them, and they hold their hand out towards you, beckoning.
Ooh. Malia starts taking steps forward towards it.
Seeing this, Yuri gives a look to Antar and Ropo, and it's a look I imagine that this entire group is probably familiar with at this point. It's that combination of question and permission.
Mm.
It's the shall we look.
Yeah, I think in this moment, as Ropo has not left eye contact with this guy and is watching the hand go up, but feels the energy of the group stop. He is prepared for whatever offensiveness is coming from this creature, this being, just start breaking out and happening, but feels that aura from Yuri, the inquisitive, do we do something? And for the first time breaks sight and looks up to you and just like tightens the wraps around his hand, but in a very, what is normally stable kind of grip, it is a lot more feral. There's a jerk to it as he wraps around both and his fingers kind of coil into fists.
Given Ropo's state and given the way that you just described that, I'm curious, would you want to perhaps roll an instinct roll to see if you can actually perceive threat from this being?
Sure, let's do that. Let's see here. Oh boy,
Hey, Vale,
that's
welcome in, chat.
that is a 7 with hope.
Okay. That is a failure, but you do gain a hope.
Yeah,
from
let's
that.
go.
Also, just as a quick refresher for me, who all has everybody has disadvantage to something at this point, right? From
Yes.
corruption? What are everybody's disadvantages, just so I'm aware?
Mine are knowledge, finesse, and presence.
Okay.
Strength, instinct, and knowledge.
Instinct and finesse.
Knowledge, presence, finesse.
So, Danny, as Ropo tightens the grips on his hands, you hear a voice in your mind. Powerful. The voice you heard at your birth. The voice that drove you for so long. This voice: rage is the only thing that ever loved you back. And I need for you to please make a presence reaction roll.
But I don't want to. All right, disadvantage on that guy.
Don't forget, you do have some motes. Looks like at this
so I
point
could
everyone has 2. If you wanted to use a mote to counteract a disadvantage, you have some
Okay, so
available.
one mote for that.
It's 1 mote to cancel out a disadvantage.
So let me do that. I'll use my 1 mote. So I'll just do a regular roll then. Let's do, and I'm sorry, that was presence.
Presence reaction roll.
Okay.
And this is, I'll be honest, this is to contain your rage. So if you wanted to spend a hope to be able to use an experience, you could do that. If you think it's justified.
I think with the spontaneity, I would say no. I think if he is in a spot where he's taking the reaction of the group and whatever's taking place in front of him, I don't think that would be the case.
Okay.
So the disadvantage, that is a 13 with fear.
You gain another point of corruption as you fail to contain the wrath within you. What does that put your total corruption at?
Puts me at 10.
Okay. The wrath cannot be contained within you. This creature is anathema to the existence that you have given yourself, or that has been given to you your entire life. This entity that is before you is an obvious threat and means immediate harm. You must attack it.
Deal. I think in that moment, as he tightens and looks back up at this being, he's just the neck kind of coiling in. You don't hurt anybody, okay? And I think we'll make just an unarmed strike at this guy.
So
he's
I will give
within what?
Antar
like
a moment of opportunity here if you believe that Antar would potentially stop Ropo. I might allow that, but there may be consequences.
No, I don't think that Antar would stop him. I think he would immediately look to Yuri for kind of like confirmation of we need to do something right now.
As you are looking for that confirmation and Yuri is momentarily contemplating what that should be, Ropo attacks. So you leap at this thing. You should attack it with all that you have.
Okay, so that'll be that is a 23, but so a crit, 2 10s.
Okay. So you will clear stress. You will gain a hope. And because of the nature of what is happening at this point, I also gain 2 fear, as you have given into the will of the Scourge Tyrant. You leap upon this entity, your fist aimed directly at what should be the head of it. You run across its arm with your tiny, tiny body and surge forward to bring your fist into where its face should be. All of you see Ropo swallowed up by the darkness of the hood of this entity as his fist connects and he is just sucked into the entity all at once.
Yep. The blade is out instantly, and I am bouncing this blade off the ground up into this thing from where I am.
Sure. Go right ahead.
First things first, I'm marking a stress to wreath this ring blade in fire.
Okay.
And then I'll make my finesse roll to attack, and I'm doing it now with Malia within melee range, so that qualifies for sneak attack.
Sure.
On this. So GM.
Yeah.
When the numbers are the same, it's a crit, and it doesn't matter what the numbers are, right?
You rolled 2 ones, it's still a crit.
That is exactly what I rolled. I rolled the funniest crit that I could possibly imagine, which is 2 ones.
It takes a lot to wrap your head around with that in Daggerheart. I've seen many people be like, crap, I rolled 2 ones. And no, that's a great thing. And so you will clear stress. You will gain a hope.
I feel like we're using these at the wrong time.
Yeah, probably.
Kind of.
I'm gonna post this in our chat because it's 2 ones.
as your blade ricochets off of the ground and rises up to cut into this thing's arm, the blade itself stops a fraction of an inch in front of the entity, and in a blur twists in the air, starting to spin so fast that it looks like a sphere, and then returns to you, spinning as a sphere. And as this returning blade flies towards you, it grows and expands to be the size of you, and you are engulfed by it and vanish in a burst of flame. Aya, the spotlight is on you, as you have seen your two friends completely vanish.
Right. So, I think immediately instinct kind of takes over. And Antar finds himself rushing towards Malia. And just to kind of like jolt her to kind of be like, did you just see what happened? Like, are you with me, or?
As you close onto Malia, you hear a voice in your mind. Do you know what you were before wrath gave you purpose? Need for you to make a presence reaction roll, please.
There's a 13 with fear.
You gain a point of corruption. So you fail. I also gain 2 fear. As you give yourself over to the Scourge Tyrant in this moment, the words catch in your throat as you try to shake Malia from whatever this is. You get 2 words out before that voice completely consumes you, and the wrath builds up within you to an infinite rage, unlike anything that you have felt before. There's some part of you that wonders if this is what it's like, what it was like before that being turned into a Wrath Witch. But you don't have time to really contemplate that, as you feel compelled to destroy this entity. You do, to destroy this entity.
I take a swing at it. Antar immediately reaches for his 2 short swords and kind of like pushes past Malia and tries to attack.
Go ahead and roll.
$22 with fear.
That brings me to 9 total fear. So you are aware. As the fear rises and is consuming you, the wrath building up to a point you have never felt before in your entire life, and all of the fighting that you have done in the arena, you have never felt the wrath so strong as you feel right at this moment. Your blades surge forward with speed and precision, uncanny in your hands, and they strike true. They bury into the cloth of whatever covers this entity's body, and for a brief moment, you feel substance, flesh underneath. You hear a wince of pain as you are consumed by darkness and realize that that pain was your own. You feel pain in your abdomen as you are brought into this entity. Now, Malia, you have not borne witness to any of this. You don't know that Ropo was consumed by the darkness underneath the cowl of this thing. You do not know that Yuri's blade was sent back upon them and casting them out into a ball of fire, practically. You do not know that Antar was wrapped up by the robes, the cloak of this entity wrapped up and eaten, for lack of a better phrase, by it. All you know is that it stands before you with an outstretched hand.
Malia is transfixed. She keeps walking forward. She wants to know about this other voice in her mind, this connection. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't understand so much of this. And the taste of being able to understand that's being held out to her, or at least that's what she thinks, is intoxicating. She reaches out with a hand of her own, much, 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 much smaller than the fingers that are extended out from this long and gangly hand. And she takes hold of one of the fingers.
As soon as your hand comes into contact with this entity, everything goes dark. As your awareness comes back, let me preface this by saying, for all of you, this will not be an awareness of Malia or Antar, or Ropo or Yuri. There is music playing. You hear soft, almost melodic sound of minstrels playing in the background, someone singing beautifully off to the side. There's a camaraderie in the air as you hear voices all around, the clinking of mugs, the eating of food, the joy of just living. You find yourself, Aelin, one outstretched arm towards Ascilla, hands clasped, and dancing. As you all sit in this tavern, please, as I pass the spotlight back onto you, tell me, what is happening here, and why is it happening?
This is not so uncommon a night when the four of them will find themselves in a tavern, in a town, where they happen upon solve whatever problem is ailing these poor townsfolk and are rewarded with celebration and free food and free lodging, music and dance. And it is not the first time that Aelin and Ascilla have danced together in a tavern like this. It is her favorite part. If Aelin had her way, she would spend the rest of her life just dancing with Ascilla. But she knows that's not quite possible, so she'll enjoy it while she can. One hand twirling her lover on the dance floor, the other aimlessly grabbing for a pint of mead that's being carried past by a poor waitress. And Aelin takes a drink herself before offering it to Ascilla.
Ascilla kind of like lazily grabs the drink and takes a quick little sip before going, No, listen. You have to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? Come on. Let me show you. We have to get the others.
You are far better a dancer than any of us, I assure you that.
Oh, don't tell me that. We must get the others. We have to get everyone in a line and dance in a line. Yes, come on.
I will buy you drinks for the rest of your life if you get Uriel on the dance floor dancing like that.
Consider that's a challenge.
I have the utmost faith in you, my love.
and Asila just kind of like lazily is tugging along to get everyone else into a dancing mood.
I think before you would approach to try and bring the group in, standing near the door where some kind of a pole or support beam would be, is just this huge chested mountain goat looking man who's got a tankard in hand and isn't very brooding, but is very much just to make sure everybody is protected. I'm staying as on guard as I can, but is enjoying watching you two dance and feel merry and can't hear the conversation, so has no idea that you're about to come pull him into this, but is just enjoying himself, watch you, tapping his hoof along with the music that's echoing throughout this tavern, as he looks over at Uriel to see that they're okay as well, to see what's going on there.
I'm sure Uriel's saying a great deal, but he's
Muted. Yeah.
Yes, he's saying it's all to himself. Uriel is sitting in a large chair, stone-faced, which is a constant for him, as he just observes. That's Uriel's constant state, is calm observation. His wings are folded back around the back of the chair so as to not be too obtrusive. He has a glint off of the armor that he still has not taken off, despite being in this very like relaxed locale. It just feels comfortable to him, and he watches everybody cajoling, partying, dancing, having a great time. Internally, he's deciding what sort of judgment he feels about each of these situations when his eyes finally pass on over to his friend, and that stone-faced look to Vaughn turns into like a quizzical expression. I apologize, do you have something?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, just, it looks like you're having a better time than usual, and I'm hoping you're enjoying yourself tonight.
I am. Everybody in this establishment is enjoying themselves, and the mood is infectious, I suppose.
It is, as he looks over at the two dancing on the dance floor. It's nice. It's tough, loud, aggressive every day. So getting a night to ourselves to celebrate and enjoy each other's company is good, is relieving. I feel comfortable.
It reminds us why we fight.
Exactly. I agree. Drink, as as a waiter walks by and grabs another tankard and hands it to you.
And I think this is sort of a perpetual thing that Vaughn keeps trying to do, knowing full well that Uriel does not and will not.
Suit yourself, as he finishes the one and just starts drinking out of the other. It's like, big guy, it takes a lot to affect me.
Of course. You may need it. I believe that Asilia is going to attempt to rope us into these shenanigans.
Oh, what makes you say? And I think as this
And
moment is
as that happens,
Yeah. Like I said, observing everything.
Asila lazily dances her way up to you two and goes, "Listen, you two, okay? I have a proclamation, okay? I have a challenge to make the two of you dance. Understand?"
Oh, that's not necessary.
The word is proposition.
No. I take that back, actually. Not a proposition. You will dance with us tonight.
That is a proclamation, yes.
Yes, exactly. Now, will you join us?
If it's an option, I have two left hooves and I'm more of a sit back and drink kind of guy than get on the dance floor. if
No,
that's-
no. You must understand. With all the watching that you are doing with us, you must know a beat or two.
I-
Come on.
Okay.
Come on,
The hand's
come on.
taking his point.
Go enjoy yourself, Vaughn.
Hey,
I'm coming back for you.
You
I'm
think you're
coming
free?
And kind of drags.
okay, Vaughn over. Okay.
Enjoy your freedom as long as you can, Uriel.
am I
That's
doing this
it.
correctly?
That's it. Exactly. Watch me. Ready? One, two.
One,
One,
two.
two. One.
One, two.
Exactly.
1, 2. Wait, where's the 3? 1, 2.
What is the third? No. Watch me. One,
I
two.
can't. I don't want to step on anybody's feet. 1, 2.
You're doing
One.
wonderful.
Okay. Whew. Great.
Come on, Vaughn. You're more graceful on the battlefield.
It's where I feel at home. I don't. This is whimsical. I just.
Do you feel it? Do you feel? Tell me you feel it. I know
I
you
feel humiliated.
No.
Is this? When does anything else happen? Is there more dancing?
What do you mean? We keep going until the night ends.
What? Till the sun comes? I don't have that much energy. I'd like to sleep at some point.
Fine. I think I won.
As
Go ahead.
far as I think he looks over at Uriel, just like, I'm just saying, if I have to embarrass myself, you have to work a lot harder for Uriel.
Of course. Uriel?
Uriel will rise from the seat and like the wings just slipping off of the back of it as he walks his far too tall self towards you all, just hands clasped in front of himself, holding it's a singular giant glowing ring that there's no way to sheath it. He simply has it in hand.
Now that you are the centerpiece, I need you to spin, okay? It makes the lights reflect off of the ceiling and everything. Come on, give me a twirl.
I feel that you are attempting to deceive me into getting your way.
No. Come on. Just one, please, just one.
He'll look to his friends, to Vaughn, to Aelin, to Sela. Will this bring you all joy?
Immense amounts.
Very well.
Oh,
Yes.
you are amazing.
So,
Take the glowing ring and hang it on his neck. And he will slowly turn, but as he turns, the wings will unfurl to just lift him up off of the floor so that he has the freedom of movement to actually turn.
You're
does this
doing
count?
wonderful.
I have to march with my feet and he gets to fly. That doesn't seem fair.
I have wings and you do not.
I get, but you have feet and I do, so why aren't you dancing like I am? As I think he's still just like a tank, just like basically step forward, step back, hands doesn't know what to do with them, and it's just I just it doesn't feel as embarrassing for you, and I'm not okay with that.
Do you wish for me to embarrass myself?
Kind of.
Very well. And he just drops right back down to the floor, wings folded, and says, "Teach me your dance time."
Oh, so I still don't know where the 3 is, but I think it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and what am I doing with my hands? Do I?
Whatever you want.
Hold them onto your belt.
Oh, okay. This feels right. Yeah, and then now I think he's really feeling it. His shoulders and his chest. Okay, all
I
right.
think we just invented square dancing, but we're gonna go.
Oh,
And
the lore
now.
builds.
Well done, my love. And Aylin's gonna give Scylla a kiss on the cheek.
And Asila goes to the rest of the crowd in the tavern and says, "Drinks on me!"
She means
Of course.
drinks on me.
And of course, the entire tavern just erupts in cheers, and you see a dwarven barman behind, just like immediately start furiously cleaning mugs, and knowing what is going to be coming later on. As all of this is transpiring. I am curious, and I'm gonna put Aya in the spotlight here. What is the celebration for?
That is a good question. The celebration is for rescuing a nobleman's daughter from making a terrible, terrible wedding decision and running away. And while it seemed to be an easy job at first, just, get the girl and come back, it turned out to be quite the insane fight in the woods. And we somehow made it out. Girl intact.
Excellent. And so with that celebration, of course, most of the people here don't know the details of that, right? Only you actually, as a group, will know all of the fine details of that experience. But it doesn't matter, because any opportunity to celebrate is going to be certainly welcome, especially in these darker times as wars are being hinted at and the people from all over are starting to hear rumors of other portions of the country having fallen to fire and bloodshed. This is before all of the events of the memory that you all experienced earlier. This is a memory of when things were perhaps hopeful, even if it was for a brief. And as the celebration is reaching its crescendo, as the dancing and the festivities are all finally getting to a point where people are completely letting go and no longer worried in the slightest about what might be happening on the horizons, everything stops. Everything becomes still. Some folks mid-dance stride, someone tossing an ale to a friend, and the liquid just frozen in place in the air around. The four of you stand there, not as Aelin and Vaughn, Scylla and Uriel, but as your mundane selves. You stand in this space. You see Vaughn and Scylla, Aelin and Uriel. Everyone frozen in this moment of joy. And as everything is frozen and you are all looking around, and you all see each other, you lock eyes with one another, you see yourselves, you see each other, you respond knowingly that whatever this is certainly not real. It can't be. No, none of this can be real. Or you feel a hand on your shoulder. Heavy, massive hand. You just glance very quickly out of instinct, nearly jumping out of your skin, and you see the elongated fingers of the entity from before. You look back over your shoulder and you see it standing there, looming over you. And you hear a voice. And it is not in your mind, but it's also not seemingly from this entity. It seems to come from everywhere. All of you hear it. Do you recall what it felt like to be forgiven?
Is this some kind of joke? What is this?
You all look at each other. The entity doesn't respond.
They all look so lighthearted, so weightless.
They were fools.
Or just not from here. They look like they don't suffer from rage, anger. That looks really nice.
They did suffer in the end, though, didn't they? And there's a very pointed glance towards Antar, and then to Asilla, and then away.
Antar looks at Asila, and then kind of like turns his head very curiously and is very angry before he shakes his head and just we need to get out of here. What is this? What's happening?
Why are we seeing this?
I don't know.
The entity moves through you, Antar, or rather, you feel it passing over you. There is a chill that runs up your spine as all of you see Antar disappear into it, and as it moves past, Antar reappears. But, Antar, in that moment, I need for you to please make a knowledge reaction roll.
Okay.
I will let you know, we've had several donations, and you all have a good number of motes. So if this is one of the things that you're rolling disadvantage on, you should use one.
I would absolutely love to use a boat.
This is something to help
So many.
for you to understand something incomprehensible.
Okay.
Just so you know what this roll is about.
Okay. So I don't roll with disadvantage.
If you use a mote, you will not be rolling at disadvantage.
I will use a moat.
You have, I'm guessing that there is no experience that applies.
Could I technically use the "Do you know who I am" experience?
Yes.
Okay, I will.
Spend a
I have
hope?
to spend a hope. Yes,
You
I
spend
will
a
spend
hope,
a hope.
and you get to add the number for that experience to your roll.
Okay. Hold on. 15 with hope.
Okay, so this was a reaction roll, so you don't gain anything for
Okay.
that hope. And you did succeed. What would it be like for Antar to be exposed to the universe without ever having seen stars in the sky? Because you've never seen... Antar themselves, before being awakened, had never seen stars, had never seen the moon, had never seen the sun, had never seen beyond into the celestial heavens, and is all of a sudden exposed to the infinite blackness surrounded by tiny specks of light that is the universe.
I think Antar would unintentionally try and cover their eyes and just be like, so bright, so what? And just in awe of the brightness of the scene before them.
So as you all see Antar re-emerge from this entity that seemed to move through Antar like a ghost, you will see him in that state. And Antar, just so you know, you are fully cognizant that whatever this entity is, it is connected to things so far beyond the mortal realm that it's almost frightening. And as it moves through Antar and steps more or less into the center of all of you, it reaches out a hand towards Ropo. Its massive hand, probably half the size of Ropo's body. And the hand starts drifting towards Ropo's cap. And as it hovers over the spot on Ropo, Danny, I think you know which spot I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
As its hand hovers over that spot, you hear, all of you hear, once again in that kind of disembodied voice, "Your scars are not proof of life. They are proof of what was stolen." And it says it in such a matter-of-fact way, without even needing to roll. You understand that while it doesn't, there is not care, there is not love, there is not sympathy in what it says, there also is not suffering. There is not pain. There is not hate. As its hand floats there above you, Ropo, you swear for a brief moment that you see a shape in the shadow of its hood. Face. You can't make out the details of it. But you know that there is someone in there.
I think Ropo looks almost cinematically through the fingers to see the face in the hood before really taking anything that was said and remarking, I don't think I understand if nothing was taken, but if I walk around every day feeling this scar on my head, and I don't feel suffering, I don't feel happiness, I don't feel anything about it. I feel like I want to know why. And you might seem to know why. Where are we? What are we doing here?
Doesn't respond to you. Simply turns towards Yuri. As it turns towards you, you cannot help but feel that instinct to reach for your blade. But your hand doesn't move. Over its shoulder, you see Uriel. Standing there, mid-stride of dance, arms akimbo, thumbs tucked into belt. And muted, for sure, but a happy expression, nonetheless. As you look past it and you see Uriel in that state, you hear this voice ringing out. Chains that bind you do not need do so. Something within you stirs. And you know, without seeing eyes, without seeing expression, without really hearing much in the way of inflection even in the voice, you know that it means you, all of you, but you personally, Yuri. Something has awakened, no matter how much you want to resist it. Something that means more than the rest of your existence ever has.
I think that notion simultaneously confuses and infuriates Yuri. Because this isn't just a state of being. This is a persona that he has built. This is a reputation that he has dedicated his life to crafting, to finagling, to working. Every connection, every favor, every debt owed has built to this individual of Yuri Lightburn. And in one instant, he feels like all of that pales in comparison to this unknown. His skin flares within the lava cracks across his face. Then tell us how, won't you? How are we supposed to do anything that you're talking about? How are we supposed to break these mystical chains that we don't even know that exist? How are we supposed to ever accomplish that? Pointing over its shoulder towards Uriel, and not a lifetime of this. What the hell are you, and why won't you just tell us what to do here? Clearly you know, and clearly we don't. What the hell are we supposed to do here?
As you ask that question, and you feel that frustration rising within you, it turns away from you. And it looks directly at you. Leah, please tell all of us, when you honor the Scourge Tyrant, when you claim the Scourge Tyrant's gifts as a Warlock of Wrath, what do you say to the Scourge Tyrant?
May the ashes of the burned become charcoal renewed.
As this entity turns and regards you, all of you hear that in Malia's voice. That same kind of disembodied state, not coming from the entity itself. It is coming from everywhere, but you hear it perfectly. Malia said those words. Not only did you say those words, something triggers within you that it was not the Scourge Tyrant listening to your words. It extends a hand towards you.
It's you. It's you. But that doesn't... But how? That doesn't... But I thought... All this time, I thought... She's gonna step towards it again. Much like she did before.
You take its offered hand.
Mm-hmm.
As you take its offered hand, you gain a point of favor. As you feel the power of this being, as you feel it course through you, all of the rest of you see... Well, I'll ask you, Top.
Mm-hmm.
What normally happens to Malia when she receives the favor of the Scourge Tyrant? Physically, how does that manifest?
You've all seen it before, usually in battles that are particularly hard, where Malia will call out to her patron for favor, for a blessing to aid her in battle. And she is wrapped in what was a red glow, the red of fire and ember and the lava and ash. But this time it's different. It's more purplish in hue, wrapped around her, not like she is ablaze, but like it's part of her that's radiating out, rather than something to consume her. And her eyes glow with the very same purple light. She doesn't seem affected, like she can feel it, but her posture is straighter and she looks stronger. She feels stronger. She's whole.
As you all see this, does Malia's expression change on receiving the favor and having this realization?
It's this relieved bewilderment, the sort of relief that almost breaks you, but it can't break you because it's so good. It's hope is what it is. Something that none of you really think you've seen on Malia's face before, but it's there, just this raw, unfiltered hope, this relief, this knowing that all this time she hasn't been giving herself over to the thing that wants to hurt them, that wants to watch them suffer and fight again and again. But it's this unknowable, unshackled entity that doesn't want to hurt her.
In this moment of realization of seeing this on Malia, does that change for any of you what you're feeling? Tell me what it is that your characters are feeling at this point.
For Yuri, he was feeling that confusion and that rage and that frustration over not knowing what to do here, having that loss of focus. But I think, much like his counterpart Uriel said, the feeling is infectious. And I think seeing hope on Malia's face is a defusal of the slow building rage in Yuri as that fire quells, and a sensation that he has not. I feel like Yuri has felt hope, but it's a bastardized kind of hope that exists in this world of wrath, where it's hope with a goal, hope with an aim, and not just this pure unadulterated feeling that he's currently watching somebody experience. And he feels that reflection of it for the first time, and it's disarming.
I think Ropo, from the moment the entity left and started spinning around each member of the group, was feeling this tension and tightness in his chest as he felt more and more questions were coming up and even less answers were being given, until this, maybe not quite literally, but I also a little literally, that this light starts to shine off of Malia. And I think though he's personally made no progress in this space, he feels this zen kind of take over. I think he would drop any kind of immediate anxiety or frustration or ill will towards this entity that he tried to kick the head off of minutes, hours, who knows how long ago at this point, and sees that someone he would call a friend has shown some level of trust in this thing, and they seem very happy about that. I think Robo takes that and kind of absorbs it and sees a light at the end of the tunnel in Emilia's reaction to it.
As for Antar, I think throughout this whole experience, he's just been feeling this weird sense of frustration about everything happening and him not really understanding what's going on. And it's like this overbearing like weight that he feels in his chest, until there's that appearance of something he's never really seen before, except in his memories that aren't his, but the look of hope on Malia almost eases some of that weight that he feels, and instead is replaced with a feeling of almost endearment at how Malia looks, something akin to what he would feel at brand new short swords or new armor. It's just, he likes that look on Malia.
Several of you are at 9 or higher on your corruption. How does that scar, the sin scar that you possess, define for us how that is manifested on your physical form?
I mentioned it in the last session, but on Yuri's back, just below the collar, there's a very loose spiral carved into the skin. It almost looks charred in because of the emberkin physiology. It's just this very loose spiral with a different hue to it that just sits, weighs on his back constantly.
For Ropo, the underside of his mushroom cap, which is normally this like lightish gray, has this now almost like bioluminescent purple light that exposes from it. And because of the scar at his head, normally each of the spots kind of has that similar purple glow, but the scar itself has these kind of poured out lightning strikes or streaks that are kind of spreading throughout the mushroom cap from each little corner of the scar, and those kind of pulsate and glow as Ropo reacts and talks and feels emotion. So very, very purple, very simple light, but stands out from what is typically these dark grays and blacks that Ropo carries.
I think on his scar is more like a bruise that gets worse the more corruption he has on his tail. And in doing so, it kind of messes with his balance. And it kind of, if it gets worse, or if it gets bad enough, he sometimes almost has to like tuck his tail as kind of like a belt, or to kind of like just keep it from being a hindrance in battle. Yeah.
Malia doesn't have one.
I need for everybody to please roll a d4 for me.
Oh.
Danny, Zach.
That is a 3.
Everybody rolled a 3 except for me?
Yep. Each of you subtracts that many points of corruption. If that is enough to bring you below 9, your sin scar heals.
Yay.
Now, you can interpret this how you like from a character perspective, but just so you all know, as players, this entity is consuming your corruption in doing this. And so, whether you perceive that is entirely up to you. But if you do perceive it, if your character does perceive it, you will actually see your physical wounds as well as your mental wounds, your traumas of being corrupted. You will know that those are being lifted. And if you do perceive it, then the entity, for flashes of a moment, scars will form on the cloak that they wear. Physical scars that slowly stitch back up and heal.
GM, quick mechanical question.
Yeah.
For every 3, we got a disadvantage.
You can choose one of the things that you gain that you are no
Okay.
longer at disadvantage on.
Sounds good.
If this healing puts you below a threshold of 3, then you heal one of the disadvantages. So, as this occurs, none of your questions really were answered.
Nope.
But maybe that was intended. Maybe the questions themselves are answers. Maybe being able to ask questions the first time in your lives is an answer. So in these last moments, before I yank the spotlight back, I will leave the spotlight upon all of you in this still frame of a memory as this entity slowly starts to fade from existence in front of you. What do you say or do to each other?
I think as the entity fades, Malia just says, "Thank you."
Yuri was staring at the entity, feeling this weight off his back, and as the entity fades, he gets a clear line shot at Uriel and the others. And his question of what do we do becomes, we have to do something. And just look to the rest of the group, very shakily pointing towards those four. We have to get back to that.
Just like Uriel, I think as the entity starts to fade, and Ropo sees it go transparent and see Malia through it, he also snaps over to look at the group of our awakened selves and stays locked on Vaughn. And as he kind of looks at his hands and that purple light that is coming down from his mushroom cap starts to fade, and he just sees it slowly dim out, I think he has this moment of finding his calmness again, before this feral nature that he once exclusively carried, that he was able to get rid of, was haunting him again, and feeling him lose any kind of self-control that he's had for so long. I think he feels that grip on his own control come back once that light finally fades, and looks back at the group, just feeling very much like himself, the one that we had before entering or going out to find our way out of this town, but feeling not powerful in terms of strength, but powerful in terms of camaraderie and ready to be dependable for his friends again.
I think that Antar would, again, as the entity fades, his vision focuses upon the frozen in time counterpart, and again tilts his head at the sight before him and just kind of faintly says, I wonder what it's like to dance. And then turns his attention back on his fellow companions and goes, do you think that we could dance like they did?
One day.
One day.
I would like that. One day. Sounds really nice.
One day.
You hear the screams first. The vision around you slowly fades to black, and before the vision of anything else returns, you hear pain, screams, agony. You smell the sulfuric rise of ash and smoke around you, and as your vision starts to coalesce, you find yourselves once again in Morvain Kroll, in the Crucible Warrens, seemingly in the same positions that you had been in when you left them for however long that was. You do not see the entity anywhere. Instead, as you look around, you see chaos, you see movement, you see flight, you see people, all directions, fighting with one another. Mostly clanks, the clanks of the Warrens that are warring with each other, but you see that many of them are changed. You see several of them, their normal forms, which would be reds and irons and steels and robust, powerful figures. Several of them now glint with gold, have gemstones rippling out of gashes in their bodies. You can see their expressions now not of wrath, but smiling almost. gleeful in a way. Every attack that they make seems to fill them with some kind of perverse joy as they take from whoever it is that they are fighting. You see people that are not clanks in this vicinity, not necessarily fighting, although some certainly are, but grabbing onto the belts that contain pouches with the simple coins of the realm, the gemstones that you often use as currency, yanking them away and tearing into them, almost seemingly wanting to consume the gemstones themselves. In this tumult of chaos, I'm going to immediately spend a fear and claim the spotlight. In this chaos, you can see very clearly that wrath is present, but there is also greed. I need for everyone to make an instinct reaction roll.
I'm gonna use a moat to
You
get
sure?
rid of that disadvantage. Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
I'm sure it would have been
disadvantage.
fine.
I am definitely gonna do
What?
that.
What?
I'm
Did
sure.
you crit again?
I'm sure it would have been.
Yeah,
fine.
with 10s.
Hey, 10 crit, baby. All
So
right.
21, but yeah, 10 crits.
Right? It was a reaction roll, so unfortunately you don't gain anything
okay.
from it, but it is a success. Yes. How about the rest of you? How'd you do?
15 with hope.
Okay,
21 with fear.
that's a success.
10 with fear.
That is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
It is also a failure with fear, which means you gain a point of corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And the corruption that you feel rise up within you is different than any of the corruption that you have ever felt, because this is the corruption of greed.
Oof.
You all feel this presence of greed in this place of wrath, and several of you are able to shake it away. Danny, just so you know, you did succeed.
Okay, cool.
As this greed kind of fills this space, you feel it rise up within you. You feel an instinctual reaction to grab at your pouch. So in response to this, so because you failed, you failed with fear, you gain the point of corruption. That has nothing to do with the effect that you rolled against. That's just because you failed with fear.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Just to rub it in a little bit there, just so
Yeah.
you know.
You cannot take the spotlight, meaning that you cannot take any actions or reactions until I claim the spotlight again. As
All right.
you are consumed by greed and feel drawn to the pouch of gemstones at your hip, unlike any draw that you have ever felt before.
Can I flavor this, GM?
Absolutely.
Rather than grabbing for her pouch, Malia's going to grab Antar's arm.
Okay.
Just a hard, firm grip and like a tug towards herself.
Okay.
That's it.
And because this is an environment ability, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 additional fear. A burst of power erupts from inside of the molten pillar. That pillar of lava that is encased by glass with spiderings of iron that hold it together. The lava that rises up from the volcano underneath of the city, leading all the way up to the throne of the Scourge Tyrant. That pillar that fills so much of this space, because down here is where it is largest, it bursts into a huge lava flow. As that lava flow emerges, you guys all have to make agility reaction rolls.
2 things very quickly. The first one being that, does my ancestry fact of fireproof factor into whatever damage might happen from the lava?
Yes.
Okay.
But it will only affect the physical damage.
Okay.
There's
The
another
second one
component
is-
to this.
That's cool. The second one is, can I use my experience, I am your shield, to shield one of my companions?
I would allow that. However, I'm going to tell you that you must choose to automatically fail your reaction roll to do so.
Given what we just experienced and Yuri getting to actually lock eyes with Uriel, and that this experience comes from Uriel, done.
Okay. Then you will choose to fail. Who do you shield?
Honestly, it's probably Ropo.
Okay. Ropo, you do not need to make the reaction roll.
Can I use my experience, quick hands, and quicker wit?
Yes.
Yes. Spend a hope for that.
Also, please tell Varl if you're spending any moat to cancel out the disadvantage.
Well, luckily, I don't have a disadvantage for agility. Lucky me. Because that is a 24 crit.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's a reaction roll, so you don't gain anything for it, but you do succeed, which is great. And how did you do, Aya?
I got a 16 with hope.
Okay, that is also a success. So, as the lava flows surge through the space, it incinerates people. Just bursts of flow in this space that lash out like vengeful wrath and just incinerating both those consumed by greed and Wrathborn alike. Just starts filling the space. Danny, as Ropo sees this flow of lava coming straight at him, Yuri steps in front. Yuri, back to the lava flow, wraps arms around you, and the lava surges around the both of you, protecting you, Ropo. However, Yuri, although the fire does not harm you, you gain 2 points of wrath corruption.
Sounds good.
Where does that put you for total corruption?
10.
You feel the scar on your back return.
I'd like to think it's a different scar at this point, and it's in the sprawling burn shape of this lava as it goes around either side, almost like horrible wings.
Absolutely.
Is this scar exposed? Is it under your clothes?
It's on my back. It's on my back, and
his clothes are incinerated at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's on my back, so yeah.
When he turns, you'll be able to see it, but for now you can't. For now, all you see is Yuri encompassing your full vision and protecting you from this lava. You also see the wrath rising in Yuri's eyes. So, Zach, just so you know, when you take the spotlight next, you must attack something.
Can do.
And I pass the spotlight to all of you. Malia cannot act. Yuri must act in a specific way, which you as a group can decide who takes the spotlight. If you want that to be Yuri in this moment, then it can be, but it does not have to be.
I legitimately think Yuri has to take a moment to recover first before I feasibly could.
So, Antar, Ropo, the spotlight passes to you. What would you do as this chaos unfolds around you? And for what it's worth, you are in tremendous danger, in case that was not readily apparent. At any given moment, you're going to have to defend yourself, whether it be from the environment or from people. What would you do? Who wants to take the spotlight?
Oh God. I think Ropo. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
I think Ropo sees, is prepared to run before seeing Yuri jump in front and take the blow, and watches that wrath kind of fade through his face and envelop him again. And though Ropo's a little scared of what do I do with Yuri in this moment, I think he still wants to protect him. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, because I almost want to attack to use an extra thing. But I think, could I just try to grab Yuri and throw him past me, behind me, almost kind of like a grab his collar, tuck and roll, and yeet, and then roll back with him kind of deal?
Sure, I'll allow that. So this is going to be a strength action roll.
Okay. All right. Let's do this guy.
And if you have a relevant experience for the action, you can of course talk about that.
I do. So I'm going to try symbiosis. Would try and help others in the party. So let's see.
So you'll spend a hope, and you get to add.
There we go. Cool.
That experience.
Well, damn. I don't know if I needed it. That's another 10/10 crit.
Nice. So you will gain the hope back. You will also clear stress if you had it.
I do not.
And so, yeah. Tell me what happens here. The lava flow, by the way, was like a burst. It isn't like you're not currently being bathed in lava and being just protected. It subsided from the effect.
But wherever it is congealed or it's still flowing outward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ropo first. Yuri, no. Why would you? Grabs the collar. Pulls you forward, and then puts his feet right on your stomach and just kind of kicks you back over his head. As far as you'll roll, he tucks back, follows you, and tries to help you to your feet so we can get going.
Okay. As you do that, as you fling yourself and Yuri back, I get to take a reaction from the environment because of your movement. You land on your feet, but you land impacting into a pair of clanks that are currently fighting with one another. Since there's two of you, I'm going to divvy up these attacks to one on each of you. So the clank currently consumed by Wrath is going to attack Ropo, and that is a 17 to hit. So Ropo, as this clank brings its arm up and then down on top of you in an attempt to basically smash you into the ground and just crush you, it deals 27 points of damage.
Good heavens. Okay.
How's that on your thresholds?
That is severe. Okay. So
I'm assuming that you wish to use an armor.
I do, and it's my last armor that I have available, so I'm going to do that.
Well, it's good. You should use it though, because if you take severe damage, you gain another point of corruption. So just something to remember.
Yeah, which will still leave me under 9, but we're going to try to avoid that as long as we can.
Yeah, as it slams you into you, you feel that surge of wrath within it. Yuri, the clank of greed goes to hit you. That's only a 16 to hit you, but I'm pretty sure that's enough.
It would be if I didn't spend 3 hope to add +2 bonus to my evasion, which would match it to 16.
Okay. Hang on a second. You don't want to spend that, because if a 16 meets, so I will still hit you.
Okay, so meets beats on
correct.
On this. Got it. Okay, then I will. Then yes, it will hit me.
Yeah. So don't spend that hope. Okay. So as this clank swings its arm towards you, you see this blade almost seem to.
Sorry. What were the actual dice numbers on this?
Oh, on the attack front. So yes. I got a total of 16.
What were the individual dice numbers?
There isn't. I only roll a d20. I roll a d20 and add a modifier. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I have a parrying dagger that says when I'm attacked, I roll the damage dice, and if any of the damage dice rolled have the same value as mine, I negate it.
Oh, for damage dice, I haven't. Yes.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll your parry dice and let me know what you get.
Okay, I got a 5.
Okay.
And a 3.
Okay, so the 3 will negate one of the damage dice,
Okay.
which means that it does 21 points of damage instead of 24. So
Okay.
as this thing's arm kind of swings towards you, a blade made of diamond seems to appear in its hand, and it slices into you. How does the 21 compare to your threshold?
It's just over, so I'm going to expend an armor.
Just over
severe, so I'm going to expend an armor.
You're going to spend an armor, so you mark 2 hit points.
Yes.
All right. You all still have the spotlight. That was a reaction roll.
Yeah, this feels like the perfect time for me to take it because I just got hit and I'm wanting to hit something. So I think, I got thrown, stood up, and immediately got slashed. My clothes are mostly burned off. I am pissed. And I think in reaction, that scar brightens as the skin brightens on Yuri. I'm going to spend a hope, throw my hand out, and I'm going to make a spellcasting roll for Rain of Blades on every target in close range. So that's both of these Clanks and Robo.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your spellcasting.
And spellcasting with finesse.
I should let you die.
I was hoping you would throw me into other people, but you're still here. 21 with hope.
Okay, so you would gain a hope from that.
Which just gets it right back from me.
Yep. You had to spend hope to use this ability?
I had spent 1 hope.
Yeah, gotcha. What is the damage?
15.
Okay.
Unless anybody is vulnerable.
No.
In which case it's more.
So, Danny, that's 15 points of damage coming at you. So as you damage the Clanks, it is worth noting that the Clank of Greed takes that damage and bleeds gemstones from the impact of that damage. The Clank of Wrath erupts in flame that does not seem, the flame itself does not seem to harm it, but that is the manifestation of the corruption that exists between these two entities as you harm them, or these two creatures as you harm them.
Worth noting again that it's magical damage because these blades don't actually exist.
Right.
They are just manifested.
Yes.
Also, do I have like cognizance after I've attacked something, or am I just still like on an ongoing attack?
No. As this attack happens, the wrath is going to be controllable for you. You still feel the wrath, obviously, but...
Okay, then I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I brought us all here to find a contact, Borden, who is a clanker that is greed-based. Do I recognize things that are happening here from my experience with Borden?
As soon as
the greed elements?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be an entirely new experience for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I was curious about that from the moment you started talking about it. If wait, I know a guy.
Yeah. You could certainly leverage that to try to find the guy if you want to find him, but this would be an entirely whole new experience for you. So, Danny, how'd that 15 points of damage hit you?
It is major damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many hit points do you have marked?
I currently have 4 marked out of my 7.
Okay. You all still have the spotlight. I am not taking it back yet.
Well, I think in this instance, seeing the incredible feat that Ropo just did, I think Antar would inadvertently just kind of look over and compliment Ropo on that insane move and just be like, that was amazing! And kind of use his soldier's bond. So when you compliment someone or ask them about something they're good at, you can both gain 3 hope. So yeah, let me just add that 3 hope real quick. And then so I know Malia's holding on for dear life right now. Is she like trying to attack me or?
No, she's basically like death gripping you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possessing you is
Cool.
more
Okay.
along the lines of what's happening.
So am I like immobile right now?
No, I don't think that. I'm not going to make you try to do anything to break her grip.
I'll bring her. Okay, I'll bring her along.
You're not going anywhere without me.
I think Antar is gonna try and get to where the other two are, and try attacking one of the clanks.
Go for it.
Okay. 18 with hope.
That will succeed. You also gain a hope from that. You guys are sitting on tons of hope. You should consider starting to do tag teams.
I'm waiting.
Well,
I'm waiting.
Tot, that you should blame Aya on that because
I'm waiting.
do not hoard resources in this game. Hoarding resources will not work out for you.
Well, I was gonna give the soldier's bond to Malia, but Malia is currently like she can't do anything right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, don't have much of a bond with Malia, I guess. How much damage do you do? And also, which of the two entities were you attacking?
probably the closest one to Ropo.
So the one that attacked Ropo was Wrath.
Okay.
How much damage do you do?
22.
Okay, that is enough for severe damage. Tell us what happens as you cut this thing in two.
I think Antar uses Malia as like a counterweight, so kind of like yanks his arm forward, and using that momentum, kind of grabs his short sword and just comes down with a slice diagonally.
Okay. As your slice diagonally cuts across this thing's form, a burst of flame erupts from the wound as it collapses to the ground, unmoving. And as that burst of flame erupts, you obviously harmed it. I'm going to spend fear and take the spotlight back. As I take the spotlight back, Antar and Ropo, I need for the two of you to please make presence reaction rolls. As a burst of flame and wrath fills the space in front of you, you hear the voice of the Scourge Tyrant once more, almost roaring in domination, trying to reclaim the space that you are a part of.
Can I use an experience?
I don't know, can you? What experience are you attempting to use?
I'm gonna try using my experience called That All You Got?
Sure.
Okay.
Just spend the hope.
Okay.
How'd you do, Danny?
I rolled a 20 with fear.
Okay. So, that is a success. But because you rolled with fear, I gain a fear.
Oh no, that never happens here.
Which is not normal, because normally it's a reaction roll. Mm-hmm. But this is a special circumstance based on this ability, that any rolls in response with fear generate fear.
Boy.
How'd you do, Aya?
I got a 14 with hope.
The failure.
Okay.
Because of that failure, you have to mark 2 stress. Because you failed with hope, you do not gain any additional points of corruption. However, your next attack, or your next action that you take, must be an attack. And also, you see everyone as enemies.
Cool.
I will pass the spotlight back to you. Tot, you're...
I'm alive, right?
Yeah,
I'm back.
you're-
I'm back
oh,
to
yeah.
myself.
You
back.
can choose to claim the spotlight if you wish to take an action.
Oh, I think I do. You know, I think it's she was gripping onto Antar's arm, and then Antar does this big swing, and there's the burst of wrath, right? And it sort of knocks Malia back into herself. She lets go of Antar's arm like she's been burned. But taking actual sight of what's going on, I think Malia knows that this is a very dangerous place and she might get very, very hurt. So she's going to siphon some essence from the clank.
Okay. There are plenty. Does it have to be within a certain range of you?
It has to be within a very close range of me.
Okay,
Which
so
I can move to make that happen.
yeah. There's enough going on around you that I will say you can either choose to go after the clank that attacked Yuri, or you can move over to a pair of people. We'll say it's a human and an orc that are currently engaged with one another, and the human is fully given over to greed while the orc has been given over to wrath.
How does Malia assign personhood?
I don't know, you tell me.
What a fascinating thought experiment. I think Malia's going to go after the two. And it's like, it's one of those things where she turns, she locks, and she grabs. Not unlike how she grabbed Antar, but it's like a grab, a nails digging into the skin as she siphons their life force.
And what do you have to do to perform this siphon?
I just have to roll my spellcast roll, but I'd also love to spend a hope to use my experienced frontliner.
Okay.
So let's do that.
That's your last hope, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not hoarding my resources.
You're not.
Nico. I'm using them. Okay. Oof, that is a 23 with hope.
You are so lucky that you rolled that with hope. You gain your hope back. You succeed. What happens?
And I get a memory shard as well, don't I?
You do.
Yes. Let me just write that down quickly so I don't forget the resource that I am hoarding. Memory shards. What happens? Right. So, I make a spellcast roll against a target. On a success. Once prolonged rest, the target takes a d20 magic damage using my proficiency. If I had rolled with fear, I would have gotten a +1 bonus to my proficiency and would have gotten to roll 3d20. So that could have been cool.
You'll find out in a minute why it's a good thing that didn't happen. Go ahead and roll the damage, though. So it's 2d20?
Yes. So it's 2d20, and then I clear a number of hit points equal to the number of hit points the target marks from the attack.
Great.
So let me do that.
And remind me who it is that you're siphoning this from?
The orc, let's say.
Okay.
Gripped the orc, and I rolled a 19.
Okay. You will siphon 3 points.
Beautiful, because that's how many I had marked. So now I'm back to full. But that's only once per long rest, so that has been...
As you siphon this, as you grip this orc and you start to pull their life essence into you, you feel the surge of wrath building up inside of you. And there is a point at which you hear a voice in your head simply tell you in that very unfazed expression. Stop. And you let go of the entity before wrath can fully consume you. If you had no hope in that moment, you would have gained a D4 corruption.
Ooh, good thing that didn't happen, right, guys?
As you are barely clinging to hope, realizing that the entity that has given you favor may have saved you in that moment, you shake your hand, and I'm going to spend a fear and take the spotlight back.
Naturally.
All of you are looking around in this chaos. You're feeling in some ways consumed by this chaos. You feel the wrath building up inside of you. You can see the greed and its effect that is taking place. Some part of several of you, if you choose to remember, of course, knows that at some point in the distant past, greed and wrath warred with one another extensively. And that war was costly. And there has always been that animus that exists between greed and wrath since. But it has never broken out into this. It has never been so profoundly manifest, at least in your lifetimes, anyway, since the war ended. And so, as you are feeling that war taking place around you, there is a violent explosion, almost as if the ground beneath you, the volcano underneath of you, that is always active, surges in response to this conflict. The building shakes. You are knocked to the ground, your feet taken out from underneath of you. All of the people that are around are thrown in different directions from the quaking of this. Some of the lava flow that is still rampant throughout the space starts bleeding its way towards you in various states. I need for everyone to make instinct reaction rolls, please.
That's great. I'm going to spend another moat, Varl.
I will as well. Yeah, I'll spend one finally.
Could I use another experience?
Sure.
I'm gonna use It's Showtime.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
Sure, why not? I'll be generous.
Thank you.
I rolled an 18 with fear.
Okay, that is a success.
Yes.
Listen, team, I'm trying to find a reason to use these hope. I swear, they're all about punching people. I promise.
Punch your way out of the lava.
Yeah,
Are there any about protecting?
No. I keep scrolling
Don't
to
you?
double check.
No, didn't you? What did you use to help
That's me.
Yuri?
That was not
Reason?
Fury.
That was just a
feat.
Oh, I thought you had an experience that you added to assist Yuri.
Oh, to specifically help somebody? Yes.
Oh, symbiosis.
Yeah,
specifically if I'm helping an ally.
that would apply in this circumstance.
Okay.
If you want to spend the hope.
Yeah, look at that.
There you go.
I believe
I
it.
got a 16 with hope.
Okay. That is a success.
19 with hope.
That is a success.
23 with hope.
Awesome. So all of you will succeed in this, which means that none of you will take any damage from this experience, and you will be able to keep your feet. However, who here has the highest knowledge score?
I got a fat 0 on that, so
I got a 0 as well.
I'm -1.
Wow, you guys are so smart.
All of us but Danny have the highest knowledge.
That's the answer to your question.
Get a team.
You know what though, Danny?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Danny's origin story implies that he has a very high survival instinct.
Okay.
I'm going to allow Danny to roll an instinct roll instead.
Okay.
So Go ahead for me and make an instinct perceive roll. As you are looking for how to survive this.
I like the way this being phrased makes it sound like Danny is fighting for survival and not Ropo.
Yeah.
Yes, well.
I'm out here fighting for my life, dog.
I was speaking about Danny's origin story, not Ropo's origin story.
Me specifically. Grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania, farm fields everywhere. Ooh. If I'm perceiving, could I swing using my experience, the forest remembers my name, which is more of a perceptive bond with nature vibe? Cool.
Yes.
So
and I'll tell, and that'll help flavor the results of this potentially. So
cool. Alrighty, love that for me. That is a +2, 14 with hope.
Okay. This is an action roll. It is not a reaction roll, so you gain that hope back. Ropo has never really experienced the mycelial network, at least not in the way that most Daggerheart games would understand it. He's always experienced it as pain and yelling and screaming, and, you know, there's always that cacophony of screams in the back of Ropo's mind that, you know, never goes away. Like a really bad tinnitus sort of effect, right? There's a moment at which he hears a voice unlike any that he's ever heard before. A soft voice filled with fear, mind you, that says, "To your right, to your right, to your right." And you instinctually look to your right. And as you look over, you see a burst of lava ripping out of a wall, just pouring voluminous amounts of what is certainly death and destruction headed your way. However, underneath of that spout where it comes out, you see a crack has formed in the wall. A space that has opened up with a passageway behind it. And there's something that tells you that you need to go that way to be safe. If you can avoid the lava and get to the gap, you will be safe. So as the spotlight passes back to you, Ropo, I'm declaring that you take it.
Cool. We love it. Yeah, I think as Ropo would hear that voice, would snap to the right, instinctually thinking like go to the right, sees that eruption, and then almost kind of doubles back before noticing the opening. Between us and this gap, it's still just clanks fighting, lava spreading, like it is.
It's mostly the lava. Like
okay.
you see 3 clanks just get incinerated by the lava flow.
Poor guys. Dope. I think. Yeah, Repo. Ropo turns around and is like, guys, I think there's a spot over here, and I think it's the best way to get out, and I'm going to go for it. And then just turns and beelines for the hole.
Right. So this is an agility roll, sprinting, dodging, leaping your way through the area.
I would like to use my experience. My cap has dirt on it. Sure. Just kind of remember the violent and aggressive nature that he's got as he kind of just full sprint towards this hole.
Go for
it. Is a 19 with hope.
Right. That is a success. So you all see Ropo surge forward towards this space that he declares to be safe. And as he leaps onto like the slowly melting corpse of a clank and leaps past a flow of lava, you see him disappear into the gap.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice. I'll whistle for these two, and I'll book it as well. I'd like to do something as I run, since you mentioned, using this to sort of fuel finding the person I'm looking for. I've got a spell called Through Your Eyes, and it basically means choose a target within very, very far range, and I can see through their eyes and hear through their ears, and I can transition back and forth freely. So as I'm going, I want to try to tap this person so I can get a sense of where do we find the person that we're trying to get to once we get out of here.
I like what you're going for, but in this case, it's not going to result in what you want. So,
Okay,
because we're limited on time, I say just go for it.
That's fair. Then I'll go ahead and make the run.
Running.
That is 21 with hope.
All right, it's a success. You all, Malia and Antar, you see Yuri following Ropo's suit.
Yep. Come on, then.
I think this time Antar is the one that vice grips Malia's arm and books it.
Do you wish to take Malia with you?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
you should. I think you definitely should.
Yes.
All right. So, Malia, please make an agility check for me.
Yeah. So I did do that. I did roll a 4 with fear.
Okay. So, Mark, I'm going to spend that fear immediately and have you mark a stress. Antar, make your agility check at disadvantage.
Sorry.
Have moats.
You have moats. Use a moat.
Yes, I shall use a moat. Yes. Yes.
Just in case. You know?
Crit!
Hell yeah. So,
Thank God.
you will clear a stress and gain a hope from that.
Oh my god.
Just so you know, you will.
Oh my God.
This is an ability check, so you do that. So, as you following your friends leaping across, you feel Malia slip underneath, like loser footing. You yank her up. Just thematically, Malia, your shoulder gets dislocated. Antar yanks you up into his arms and carries you across this field of lava. And as you disappear into the blackness, I will cut over to you, Danny, since you made it first. As you venture into this darkness of this space that was just erupted from the wall, you cannot see anything for several moments until you see a speck of light in the distance ahead, and you are hauling butt as fast as you possibly can, as fast as your little tiny legs can carry, until eventually the light starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you stop just at the edge of it, where there is an opening, and you realize that this crack in the wall exposed an actual hall. And as you peer into the room, you see an assortment of pedestals, 12 of them, in fact. And on each of them, you see an organ, heart, brain, stomach, all of them floating in the space over these pillars. And the heart captures your attention the most because you see it beating. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
No!
What do you mean?
Oh,
What do you,
yeah.
what do you
Ladies and
mean?
gentlemen, thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us
Brave.
tonight. I
I was
hope
gonna
you
kick the heart.
I hope you
Really?
enjoyed all of that.